Let's go next to Dante from Florida. So Dante, every time you call in, I have more detailed notes. At one point, you were for Bernie. Then you called in and you were hardcore Tulsi. And if I recall correctly, last time you called in, you were still for Tulsi, but you were voting Bernie instead, or what's going on now?
Well, I've always been a Bernie Sanders supporter. He's always been my number one candidate in the race, even
Yep.
before he got in the race officially.
Right.
I defend Tulsi Gabbard sometimes because I think she is running a great campaign and she doesn't get the credit she deserves from a lot of people in progressive independent media. So there are certain issues, yeah, well, and she's talking about issues that are important. And so, yeah, still Bernie Sanders my number one candidate, but I will defend Tulsi Gabbard
Got it. Okay,
when
so Dante, I want
warranted.
to I want to hear your question, but your connection is going in and out. So let's see if we can resolve it. And I do want to hear your question.
All right, is that better?
Yes, it is.
All right, so my question was, so Elizabeth Warren, now that she's running in the Democratic primary, she seems to have a lot of these plans and ideas, but it to me it comes off as if she's grandstanding because she didn't really have these plans or ideas just a few years ago when she was in the Senate.
Hmm.
So I don't think a lot of people take that into account when
What's
they're
an example of
like they
of
just
an
take
hold on a
her.
second, Dante. What's an example of something that she's advocating for now but wasn't a couple of years ago?
Well, like her stance on politics. She's not
Sorry, you're breaking
she's
up, Dante. Her
not
stance on
as
what?
her position on money in politics. She's not as against it as she claims to be. She raised $10 million in big money in her Senate campaign, and she transferred it to her primary campaign.
Yeah, but hold on a second, Dante.
In
So
her campaign,
the
she's using
trend,
big
hold on,
money.
Dante, we got to break these things down, and I'm trying to struggle through the bad connection here. The transferring money thing, I mean, listen, Bernie transferred money. It's very common to transfer money from one campaign to another. Now, your first
Yeah, but
assertion,
Bernie
but
didn't
hold on,
transfer. It
Tulsi.
wasn't big money fundraisers,
Right,
though.
I agree with you. There is a difference, which is that Elizabeth Warren has money previously raised from corporate PACs. You're completely right as far as that goes. But is there a policy that she is advocating for now that she didn't previously? Is what I'm trying to understand.
Medicare for all.
I don't think she's really strongly advocating for it. I've heard her say, I mean, listen, I've said Bernie is stronger. Bernie says that Medicare for all is the way. People like people like Warren and Tulsi have kind of danced around it, and they've said, yeah, it sounds good, but like other ideas are okay too, and whatever. So I don't know that she's really changed on that. I think she's always been sort of into Medicare for all, but not seeing it as the way.
Well, no, because there was an interview when she was asked after she won her Senate race. I think it was like in 2013,
Yeah.
and the interviewer was implying that she supported Medicare for all, and she set the record straight, and she made very clear that she told him to go back and look at the tapes because she'd never supported Medicare for all, and that was back in
Okay.
2013.
I've never
Excuse me,
seen
back
that,
in
but I mean, it's
2013.
it's also, I mean, people's positions do evolve, right? Like I'm sure you would grant, you like Tulsi.
Yeah,
Tulsi says
yeah,
her.
but
Hold on, Dante.
even
Tulsi,
back in
hold on,
20,
Dante. Tulsi says her position on gay rights has changed radically. Do you consider that to be a genuine change?
yeah, but there's a process, and she explained how she came to that conclusion. Elizabeth Warren, back in 2016, Bernie Sanders was running on Medicare for all. That was the center of his campaign. He changed the national discourse on healthcare
Yeah.
back in 2016. If she actually supported Medicare for all, she would have supported Bernie Sanders,
Hey, I'm
but
with
she
you there.
didn't. She
Listen,
supported Hillary Clinton.
I have a video clip on
So
YouTube where I say, if Elizabeth Warren supported all of Bernie's ideas in 2016, why didn't she endorse him during the primary? So you and I are aligned there. I just think, Dante, that we want to be a little more precise in our criticisms because as I kind of gently prod you with questions, you're moving the goalposts and sort of making different arguments. And, I want next time you call in, I want you to really
you
be
asked what?
precise.
Okay, all right.
All right, Dante, I love you, buddy.
Wait, let's call in next time and we'll discussion about this.
Okay, sounds good. We'll talk again. Dante, thank you for the call. We're going to bump Dante half a point in our caller rating system because that was a very, very solid call.